sustainable growth of this business for all the stakeholders. So, if we're such a great brand with such great leaders and dealers, and we have delivered such great results against a very trying environment of business, why should we be concerned, you may ask? We have all the greatness in us to continue to thrive well into the future, some of you might be thinking. And yet, the chilling truth, ladies and gentlemen, is that it is not so. As I hinted in my opening remarks, if we do not pause to relook, rethink, reshape, and reset our intuition, we may well be poised for a death trap. The truth is, the world and everything in it is changing. The world's economy's operating system is being rewritten. Disruption is the order of the day. Major companies emerge and fall in a flip of a thumb, and nothing shall ever be the same again. So what is this? Force, driving this change, you may be asked? What is this monster, that's changing everything we know, and where does it come from, you may be asking? And is this new, is such an unbelievable change new, in our lives? Well, the truth is, change is not new, and history has always presented us with a number of changes before. Remember the first industrial revolution, which began in Britain in the late 18th century, with the mechanization of the textile industry. Tasks previously done laboriously by hand in hundreds of weavers' cottages were brought together in a single cotton mill, and the factory was born. The second industrial revolution came in the late 19th and early 20th century when Henry Ford mastered the moving assembly line and ushered the age of mass production. The first and the second industrial revolution signify adoption of mechanization and mass production. With it, you saw the emerging of cities, the rise of urban slums, and rapid growth of the class pyramid system of capitalism. The third industrial revolution, that is the digital age, is the change from mechanical and electronic technology to digital technology, which began sometime from the late 1950s to the late 1970s. And that was with the adoption and proliferation of digital computers and digital record keeping that continues to this present day. Implicitly in the term, also refers to the sweeping changes brought about by digital computing and communication technology during and after the latter half of the 20th century. So analogous to the agricultural revolution and industrial revolution, the digital revolution marked the beginning of the information age. Today, we stand on the brink of a technological revolution that will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another. In its scale, scope, and complexity, the transformation will be unlike anything humankind has experienced before. We do not yet know just how it will unfold, but one thing is clear. The response to it must be integrated and comprehensive, involving all stakeholders of the global polity, from the public and private sectors to academia and civil society. So if the first industrial revolution used water and steam power to mechanize production, the second used electric power to create mass production, the third used electronics and information technology to automate production. So where are we now, and what's new today? Well, the truth is, all these major disruptions pushed humankind to develop a particular way of being and relating with the world around him. And that world is shaped around the 5 capitals as illustrated. These are built capital, institutional capital, natural capital, human capital, and cultural capital. These allowed us to organize our society and lives in a particular order. They also provided the basis of understanding sustainability in terms of economic concept of wealth creation and our capital. Any organizational entity, whether it's government, business, or NGO, will use these 5 types of capital to develop, deliver, and or manage its products and services. So these 5 capitals provide the structural framework around which we run our lives, and by extension, around which we manage and respond to all the problems brought to us by the last 3 revolutions. But the way we govern ourselves through these 5 capitals has only been sufficient to manage the risks brought about by the last 3 disruptions. And increasingly, it is my observation that the latest disruptions have stretched the limitations of these 5 capitals to meaningfully manage the challenges to a level never seen before. Today, there are Fortune 500 companies that did not need the confluence of these capitals to start up, grow, and destroy value chains. So true to the words of Einstein, I am suggesting that leaders of today need to redesign their relationship and view of form, nature, order, and quantum of capitals in existence today if they are going to be able to lead into the future. We need to alter our levels of consciousness to the future world confronting us. Because if we cannot shape and manage it from the same levels of consciousness of the one that created our current one, we're going to be dead. I'm saying this because now a fourth industrial revolution is building on the third one, which was the digital revolution, and is redefining all that we know. It is challenging the form, structure, flow, and impact of the 5 capitals that have been built to solve the problems of the past revolutions. Our relationship with our natural capital is getting much more consummate. We need to redefine how we manage our human capital needs to adjust. We need to overhaul our institutional capital that is already far stretched. We need to reconsider our access to and security of our built capital, which has altered significantly, and fundamentally transformed our cultural capital. All of this just to survive the new force dictating our lives. It is characterized by a fusion of technologies that is blurring the lines between the physical, digital, and biological spheres. The possibilities of billions of people connected by mobile devices with unprecedented processing power, storage capacity, and access to knowledge are unlimited. And in these possibilities will be multiplied by emerging technology breakthroughs in the fields such as artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, 3D printing, nanotechnology, biotechnology, material science, energy storage, and quantum computing. Already, artificial intelligence is all around us, from self-driving cars and drones to virtual assistants and softwares that translate or invest. Impressive progress has been made in artificial intelligence in recent years, driven by exponential increases in computing power and by the availability of vast amounts of data, from software used to discover new drugs to algorithms used to predict our cultural interests. Digital fabrication technologies, meanwhile, are interacting with the biological world on a daily basis. Engineers, designers, and architects are combining computational design, additive manufacturing materials, engineering, and synthetic biology to pioneer a symbiosis between microorganisms, our bodies, the products we consume, and even the buildings we inhabit. Like the revolutions that preceded it, the fourth industrial revolution has the potential to raise global income levels and improve the quality for populations around the world. In the future, technological innovation will also lead to a supply-side miracle with long-term gains in efficiency and productivity. Transportation and communication costs will drop. Logistics and global supply chains will become more effective, and the cost of trade will diminish, all of which will open new markets and drive economic growth. The acceleration of innovation and the velocity of disruption are hard to comprehend or anticipate, and these drivers constitute a source of constant surprise even for the best connected and the most well-informed. Indeed, across all industries, there is clear evidence that the technologies that underpin the fourth industrial revolution are having a major impact on businesses on the supply side. Many industries are seeing the introduction of new technologies that create entirely new ways of serving existing customers and significantly disrupt existing industry value chains. Disruption is also flowing from agile, innovative competitors who, thanks to access to global digital platforms for research and development, marketing and sales and distribution, can oust well-established incumbents faster than